Hello. You are listening to the Carroll Connection with your host, Jared Carroll.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Carroll Connection. I'm your host, Jared Carroll, here to bring you guys another great episode. I did want to take a chance to shout out my last episode, episode 216, The Extinction of Experience. That was the first ever episode done in this space in the new studio that I have set up with my girlfriend, Elise. And on that episode is kind of like a test episode where we talked about the book that I'm reading right now by Christine Rosen and talking about the extinction of like the human experience and kind of how we're supplementing that for technology and a few other things. And I thought it was just a really good way to kind of reconnect with people and kind of test the studio out at the same time. So if you want to check that episode out, go to thecarrollconnection.simplecast.com. Also available Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the major listening platforms. If you'd like to watch your podcast, go to YouTube, search the Carroll Connection or at Jared M. Carroll, and it should pop up. And if you want to be a guest or return as a guest, hit me up on Instagram at Jared M. Carroll or at the Carroll Connection, and we'll set that up. As well as plugging the 5 pillars to creating meaningful life. Get that on Amazon, only available on Amazon. And if you like to read the whole book, go and submit the review on Amazon because that goes a long way in the algorithm. So that brings me to today, episode 217, bringing in a new guest, Lucas Nature.
What's good, y'all?
Welcome
Happy
to
to
the
be here.
podcast. Yeah, I'm
Thank you for having
excited.
me.
Shout out to DG2 Studios, Anthony, for kind of helping me.
Shout out to Ant.
Yeah, helping me connect with you, and I'm really excited. I think we're having a good pre-interview and kind of giving you a background, a little bit about me, and now we're going to get to kind of talk about you and your life story. So,
For sure.
how I open up the podcast is who you are and what you're doing currently.
What's good, y'all? I'm Lucas Nature. I'm an artist, really. I do a lot of things. I'm a videographer. I also do interviews. I love to paint. I make music. Yeah, I'm just a creator. So I'm happy to be here. I love connecting with people that are passionate. You seem like you're super passionate about your show, and it inspires me to keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I really resonate with kind of the style in which you create, and especially like I think street interviews are a really great way to kind of connect with people and interview
sure.
people on a
Absolutely.
really like authentic level too.
yeah.
And we were obviously talking about stuff that you're working on now, and I think we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I think the stuff that you're working on to create too, as well as also just your artwork. I was scrolling through a little bit of that before our interview, and I think it's super fantastic. And I like the
Appreciate it.
messages that you're putting out too with your art. I think that's really powerful when you actually add messages behind the art.
Yeah.
And I think that's really great.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. And now we'll kind of get into how we'll talk about family dynamic, and like I'll give like any of the new listeners kind of like a little rundown of my reason why I do that. I always use the kind of like the cliche expression of building a house when we were talking about like our life. The foundation, for better or worse, is always our family.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about your life story, I think it's always important to kind of talk about where you come from, what your family was like, and it kind of helps create a picture for the audience to
Yeah.
kind of really connect with you. So
For sure.
whatever you're comfortable with, allow you to kind of take the floor and go into family dynamic.
No, that's actually, I like that you do that because for me, family's everything. Family's super important to me. And you're right. It definitely, it sheds light on who you are. Like, it sounds cliche, but your family is like, you're an extension of your family, obviously. So for me, like, I grew up in Boston. I'm from Boston. And I have one sibling, my sister. We're best friends. My mom and my dad. Sorry, I'm trying to like navigate how I want to do this. But yeah, I had a pretty normal childhood. I had a really good childhood, to be honest. Like, there was like 18 kids on my street. I lived on a dead end street. So compared to like what I see today with like my younger cousins and whatnot, like they're iPad babies. But for me, I feel like I was like the last generation that was able to like be outside, like be safe. Like I would be out till like 10 o'clock at night playing manhunt with like all my friends. We'd be fishing all day, like playing kickball all day, like wiffle ball, baseball, basketball. We were just like outdoor kids. I had my little crew. Yeah, I had like two like close best friends, and we did everything together. We used to ride our bikes to like Dedham, Mass. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Massachusetts, but we would just go fishing over there and whatnot. Be over there just catching bass and like carp and shit, and then we would just ride back, link up with all the kids on the street, and just play like manhunt for hours. Like, it was just a good time. Like I'm really grateful and blessed to have had that experience as a kid, just because I feel like nowadays it's a different dynamic where a lot of kids are just in the crib on their phones and like on their iPads, and it's just like the experience that I had. I'm just really grateful for because it was such a good time. I got a lot of good memories.
Yeah, I'm glad that you actually really brought that up because I had a very similar kind of growing up where it's just like being able to play outside and like
Yeah,
have that experience. And literally, this is a great build off of my last episode where I was talking about how we're supplementing like what it actually means to be human and connect with people and have true experiences.
yeah,
And the more that I talk to people about like their childhood, and it paints a picture where a lot of the time people did have that like outdoor like activities. A lot of people bring up manhunt. I think it's like a
yeah,
universal like game that we played as kids where you could play that safely.
yeah.
Like people
Exactly.
weren't gonna come out of their houses with like weapons if you were hiding in their properties and
Right.
stuff like that. Now people are on like such high alert that that's happening and people are
Yeah.
having those experiences. And like I remember even like not a great thing, but ding dong ditching and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah.
Like
We used to do
doing
that
that.
too.
And like the scariest one was ever that we ever had was had to be like middle school, like around middle school. Where this dude like chased us in his car around, and like it was
Yeah.
terrifying experience. But like I mean, I still remember it to this day as being such a
Yeah.
vivid experience. It was like 20 kids at a party. We're like, all right, let's go do manhunt, and
Yeah.
like having that craziness and like chaos. Like
You don't forget stuff like that.
no, and like kids are gonna possibly not have that. And on top of that, someone like that might have a weapon on top of that, because
True.
they could
Yeah.
be that angry, they could be dealing with
Different
drugs or
trauma.
alcohol, like, it could be
Yeah.
a bunch of issues, and that could be the last straw that they had in their day. Because
Right.
obviously, right now, our culture is, like, very stressed out with what's going
Very
on in the
on edge.
world,
Yeah.
and something like that or someone in your property or someone going in your backyard, like, that could set someone off
For
because you
sure.
never know, and that's, like, a scary thing that kids don't get the manhunt experience. And, like,
Yeah.
I remember even, like, in my neighborhood we had like a cul-de-sac and you put like a can in there. So like that was like home base. You run and kick the can and you're safe.
Oh,
So like
okay.
that was like the thing. If someone's chasing you in the manhunt and they find you, they have to like tag you. So you have
Yeah.
to run all the way to the can. And once you kick the can, you're safe. You're like you won basically.
Oh, okay.
So like
That's
that
sick.
was like the end goal. It's like if you got found, it wasn't the end. If
You
you can
still
get to
had a
the can and kick
chance.
the can, you're good.
Oh, I didn't play that
So
way.
like
That's
yeah,
tough.
that was like the we didn't always play like that, but like that was like the final like
Yeah.
version. I remember growing up in that experience. But like yeah, that really like resonated with me is like these kids are just so addicted to the phones and it's not even their fault. Like a
No.
lot of
Yeah.
time it's the parents' fault. And I don't blame the parents because like I'm not a parent and like I can't understand fully what it would be like to have all the stresses of life, struggling with bills or your job or whatever, your
Right.
relationship, not having the other person there for whatever the household dynamic could be.
Yep.
And you have to raise the child and the child is screaming not off the top of the edge and like you don't know what you're doing and just give them an iPad, give them your phone. And
Yeah.
like
It's more circumstantial than anything. It's just like who knows what'll be the thing in 10 years from now.
yeah, and with AI and stuff, like
Right.
we don't even know if AI is going to supplement a lot of these children's videos or children's like animation shows, and
Right.
what is that going to teach them? Like, what are they going to
Yeah.
receive from that? Are they going to be so like antisocial and addicted to their phones? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we're seeing that now with like depression rates. Like, they've already been through the roof for like millennials and stuff, but Gen Z is going to be going through that, and I think the new one's Gen Alpha.
No,
Like,
for sure.
it's scary to see what childhood is going to be like for the next generation.
Right. I kind of like built my brand around that a little bit. That's why I go by Lucas Nature because I'm so connected with nature. Like I grew up right like 5 minutes from the Blue Hills. I don't know if you've
Yeah, yeah,
ever
yeah.
been to the Blue Hills. So we would go hiking there all the time. We'd just be looking for like snakes and shit and frogs. So like I'm super tapped in with nature. Like I said, I love fishing to this day. Um, I'm just a big nature head. So I definitely want to inspire like people to, get out in nature and like spend time in nature because it's really powerful. Like I don't know if you've ever done a nature bath or
No,
ever heard of nature bath. You
no.
literally just go out and just sit and like listen to the birds, listen to the trees swaying, just let the breeze, just sit out there and like almost meditate, but you don't have to. You can kind of just sit there in silence and like it work wonders, for your mental health. It's just I'm just trying to inspire like people in like my generation to connect with nature because we come from nature and we can kind of get lost in the whole technology thing. I'm not saying technology is a bad thing, obviously, but you got to use everything with moderation, right? So
Yeah, and I definitely I technically have done, I guess, a nature bath. I didn't know the
probably have,
terminology
yeah,
because I was big, especially the last few years. I haven't tapped back into like the meditation stuff, but that was a technique that I've definitely learned through whether it's therapy or other experiences
yeah,
of using. But I would go outside and just sit outside and meditate for like 10
yeah,
minutes and then just sit there and just have that experience to just like kind of soak it all in and
yep,
just like I went through this phase where I did literally would sit outside and listen to classical music. I'm not even a classical music person, but like
yeah.
just something peaceful and just like sit out there and just like admire like the way the trees
So you
sway or
are a
like
classical music person.
yeah.
Your soul is.
And like it just like it feels good and like even
Yeah.
like you're saying just like my right now one of the big things that me and my girlfriend do we love like putting on like the channels on YouTube where it's like sound machines or like
Yeah.
seeing the nature or like the leaves falling or like
Mhm.
like an outside. It's usually AI stuff, but like that like feeling is just so homey to me.
'Cause it's where we're from.
Yeah, and
It is home.
I'm big. I agree with you. I'm very big hiker. Like I love
Yeah.
hiking. I love being out in New Hampshire and
Yeah.
Vermont, Maine,
Right.
those areas, and like being in the mountains. And um, something still calls me to move up to New Hampshire every once in a while. I'm still like I might end up there just because the cost of houses are cheaper up there.
Yeah, yeah.
But
That's a
that
great
area,
my grandparents are from there. A little bit more about my childhood is, like, I have stories going to New Hampshire. They live up in the White Mountains, so it's, like, super quiet, like, the silence in New Hampshire, like, if you're up in the mountains, like I mean, anywhere in the mountains, it's just, like, that silent is something that if you're from, like, the city, you need to experience. It's so quiet. It's like it does wonders for your mental health and like even at night because there's less light pollution. Like the stars, you feel like you could literally grab one. It's right there. There's so many. It's crazy.
yeah, you haven't hiked until you're walking up a mountain in New Hampshire and you're silent for like 40 minutes with whoever you're hiking with. You know
Yeah.
you're going through it with them.
All you hear
That's the
is those
point.
little crickets. Like
That's the point in the hike where you're struggling, you're going on that incline, you're like, "Oh, I can't even." But,
yeah.
like, I've always used this metaphor when it comes to hiking is, like, I compare it to life.
Hmm.
Like, going up is, like, difficult, there's gonna be water breaks, gonna be snack breaks, you're gonna be tired, you're gonna wanna quit,
Yep.
but, like, you get to that peak, you're like, "Wow, this is beautiful."
Yeah.
But the thing is when you get to the top and you're looking out everywhere, you're gonna see so many more mountains to climb,
Right.
and that's, like, the equivalent to, like, actual real life, like
For sure.
there's always gonna be a new mountain to climb, and it's upon you to want to climb the mountains. Like,
That's
don't
right.
you can't sit up top of the mountain and just sit there all day. You
Hmm.
gotta go home at some point. You gotta go down the mountain. There's ups and downs in
Yeah.
every point in life, and there's gonna be a new mountain to climb. That's kind of like what I was talking to you about off podcast. I'm like
Yeah.
searching for my new mountain.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what's the mountain that I want to climb next.
For sure.
And I think that resonates with a lot of people, especially the nature aspect. So I'm really glad that you kind of brought that up, and we'll probably build upon this as we keep going through the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
I want to take a little bit of a turn into like you brought up a little bit of childhood and stuff like that. Was
Hmm.
there any like you brought up nature, but like was there any sports hobbies
Yeah.
aside from that that you were doing to kind of connect with your friends?
So I grew up playing hockey, believe it or not. So I played hockey since I learned how to skate when I was 3, and I played up until ninth grade. So that experience for me was definitely, I would say, traumatic, just because like there's not a lot of people of color who play hockey, and at the time, like there definitely wasn't for me. Like in my experience, I think I only saw one other black kid play hockey in my entire life, and yet I think he ended up going to the NHL. I can't remember his name, but he was from like Weymouth or some shit. But yeah, just being like the only black kid in the locker room or just on the team was it was tough sometimes. Like I had a lot of social anxiety from that because I was bullied a lot and like kids would try and like do shit to get a reaction out of me and just I felt really isolated and alone. Um just cuz it's like I played hockey in like Walpole and Hyde Park and like it was like a travel league and shit. So it was tough like it definitely you know, thickened my skin and like helped me who I am today. But um, yeah, it was just like an interesting experience for sure.
What led you to get into hockey? Did you have like a family member that kind of pushed you into it, or was it just like a pure interest?
My dad wanted us to learn how to skate. Um, no one in my family played hockey like before or anything. It wasn't anything like that. I just happened to live near a ice hockey rink, and like they had free skate and stuff all the time that kids would go to in Hyde Park. At Badgeco rink. I don't know if anyone watching is from Hyde Park, but we learned how to skate, and then obviously like you're in that rink all the time skating. It's like, oh, sign them up for hockey. Like, so my mom and dad just signed me up for hockey. And my sister too. My sister was she was nasty. She
Did you
didn't
like
like
playing
me.
it?
I loved it, dude. I love hockey. Like my friend, he lives on a pond in Rhode Island, and like it was frozen this past winter, and we that was the first time I had skated since like ninth grade, and it was awesome. Bro. I still got it.
Yeah,
I love hockey. I miss it. I don't miss the traumatic parts of it.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I just figured I'd put that out there. Like a lot of people, I want because I'm like 6'4", six
Yeah,
three.
yeah.
People are like, oh, you play basketball, right? I'm like,
That's what I would have
play
assumed. You
hockey, and
probably
they're
play
like, no,
basketball. You're
you
that
don't play
tall.
hockey. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I do.
Were you like a defenseman, or were you like
I was a
scoring
left.
goals?
I was a left wing and center. I was scoring goals. I
Oh
was
yeah,
fast as hell
yeah. I was
too.
gonna say that's scary. If you were
Yeah.
you like that tall in like middle
Um,
school and high school? Not you probably obviously grew, but like you're probably pretty tall
Middle
still.
school, no. Like I would say I had a couple growth spurts. But I would say like probably like towards the end, I was pretty tall, like skinny. I've always been tall and
Yeah, that'd
skinny.
be terrifying seeing
Yeah.
you come skating and
Yeah,
trying to score on
exactly.
me.
That was the thing is, like, I didn't check a lot until, like, I got older. Like,
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
always afraid to check. I don't know if people can relate to that, but, like, for some reason, I was just fast. I would
yeah,
just,
yeah.
like, get the puck and go, like, I was gone.
I was gonna ask about like the physicality of hockey because like I've played football my whole life and I've
Mhm.
always resonated with like the physicality of sports
Yeah.
because I'm obviously a smaller guy, so like I had to get tough.
Yeah.
Like I had to learn that. I had to go to the gym. Like if I
Yeah.
even wanted to even step on a football field, like I had to work out to be even
Yeah.
close to what people were. And like that was always like a chip on my shoulder. It was like I'm gonna outwork everybody. Like I might not be the most talented or the biggest guy out here, but I'm gonna like
Yeah.
it's all about heart, like cliche. But like
Mhm.
that's the message that I was kind of like running with. But the physicality taught me so many life lessons where it's like you're gonna get popped in the mouth. You gotta get
Yeah.
back up. So
Mhm.
did you resonate with any of that with hockey?
For sure. It definitely it's a sport that toughens you up for sure. Mentally and physically. Like, mentally, just the stuff that I had to deal with these little racist white kids and, like,
Yeah.
just playing hockey. Like mentally it toughens you up for that, and then just like physically, like getting hit and getting back up,
Do you ever get,
taking
like,
taking
concussed?
pucks. No, not that I can remember.
I don't think I've ever gotten
No.
diagnosed concussion, but I definitely
That's
I'll
the
never
thing,
forget.
you don't know, like,
Oh,
low
yeah.
key.
And this we grew up in, like it was, like, right before, like, the CTA everyone's like, "Oh, we should probably check about that. We should teach parents who are coaches to, like, hey, look out for these
Yeah.
signs," and, like,
Mhm.
I remember even, like, we had, like, the I don't know if you're too familiar with, like, the football helmets, but it was, like, these old Rydell helmets that were, like, um for anyone that watched football, like Aaron Rodgers, like his helmet is like old school, like trash helmet, like no
The really
padding.
small ones.
Yeah, it's just it
Okay.
looks dinky.
Yeah.
I had that most of my football playing career until
Oh,
high school, where they finally got these like nice ones, and like they're even better now.
yeah.
And now they have like guardian caps they put on the helmets and stuff like that. But I'll never forget. It was junior. I think it was junior year. Maybe no, it was senior. It might have been senior year. I can't remember. This is probably part of it. The quarterback was rolling out. This was a Aponequid, and he was rolling out of the pocket, running up the field, and I was chasing him from behind. And I dove, and his cleat kicked up on my head.
Ooh.
So then I hit, like tripped him up, but like banged my head, and it hurt so bad. I remember I was like calling the defense, and like the coach
Yeah.
was giving me plays, and like guys, I don't know what he's telling me right now.
So you were
Which
just
is
out of it?
yeah, I was like, let's just do base, whatever the base was. I was like, let's just do base, and like I was getting yelled at. I was like, I have no idea what's going on right now. And I've
It's not
had
good.
friends that were on the field. I'll never forget where he got a concussion and he was having like legit nightmares. Like he's out there. I'm like, get
Oh,
this kid
shit.
off the field. Like
Yeah.
he's having nightmares. Like,
That's not good.
and then like my cousins got concussed. Like he was like a tackling show with like me and other people. And
Mhm.
he, like we're just hitting heads.
Yep.
And he just started crying. Like, is I don't even know why I'm crying. Just like starts
Yeah.
bawling. Like, and it's just
That's
concussion
crazy.
signs. But it's like
Really.
stuff that they don't like they didn't teach back then. And like I only wonder and imagine about like the stuff that it's happened to our brains because of the physicality of sports. Even like stuff like soccer, where people talk about heading and stuff,
Yeah.
like that's scary. Like you don't even know the repercussions because like
Yeah.
our brain's not meant to do all that,
Uh-huh.
but we're doing that repeatedly
Yeah.
and while we're growing
Yeah.
it is can be kind of scary. But aside from that, I think there's a lot of great life lessons from the physicality of
Yeah,
sports and stuff like
sports.
that.
Yeah.
I did want to take a little bit of a turn now as we start pivoting towards like the second half of the conversation and getting
Sure.
towards more like high school. Talk to me about like kind of a little bit going through high school. I know you mentioned you left hockey in ninth grade.
Yeah.
Did you replace that with anything? Was that when did
Yeah.
the art start coming into it? Was that always there?
Yeah, I took art classes. Art was always there. Like I've always been a creative artist, like artsy type of person. Like I was always drawing as a kid and stuff. Um I didn't take obviously I took some art classes in middle school, but I took like AP art in high school. Like that was my thing. Like I was painting and drawing and sketching. Um so yeah, art was definitely I took it serious in high school. Um then I didn't play hockey in high school. I picked up cross country and track. So I started running. Um ended up being pretty good at that. I was usually I was finishing first in a lot of my races. Like I had no idea I had that like running talent, I guess. Like I was just kind of fast. I knew I was fast from hockey, but I did not know I was like going to be a long distance runner. I struggled a lot with school a lot. With my grades. Like, school was just not my thing. I was more of like I'd rather be outside. Like I always remember fighting with my parents about homework. Like, "Oh, did you finish your homework?" I'm like, "No, I'm trying to go outside." Like I was just not with school at all. Um, so thankfully, like running actually got me into college. Believe it or not, like
Yeah,
my
let's
grades were,
go into like that experience. Like, why did you go to college
yeah,
and go down that path?
for sure. Yeah, like I was not trying to go to college. Definitely not, because I had already been through, you know, middle school and high school, and I was just like, bro, I'm done with this. Like, I just want to get my diploma, and just be done. I'd rather get a job or like, I even thought about joining the Air Force, and I was like, I'm just not going to college. Like, fuck that. I can swear.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Um, But, a lot of, like, colleges were recruiting me for my times from cross country and track. Like, I remember Northeastern reached out and, like, UMass Amherst, and, like, I ended up going to a college, Stonehill College in
Yeah.
Massachusetts, yeah. But my grades were not good. Like, I remember I had to, like, meet with the coach and, like, the president of the school and whatnot, and, like, they were like, "If you can make the honor roll your last semester of high school, like, we can get you in." And, like, I ended up somehow, by the grace of God, like, I locked in and just, like, got the I got, like, 80s because I was never, like, a A B student, right? I was always a C D student. Maybe I got an A in art, but everything else was, like, Cs and Ds. But, like, I just kinda locked in and was like, "Alright, like, I guess I'm gonna try and apply myself." Ended up it's funny how that works, right? Like, clearly, like, I always thought I was, like, because I used to get bullied a lot because of my grades and shit, like, "Oh, you're stupid," or whatever. It's like, no one's stupid. You just either you care or you don't. And I did not care about school. So like once I like locked in and actually applied myself, I was like, all right, I can actually do this. Like if I actually do my homework. So then ended up going to Stonehill. Um, I was actually injured my freshman year, so I had to redshirt. I'll get to that. And like I started doing really well in like my cross country races, my track and field. I have a couple school records. I'm a 3-time All American running track and cross country, which is super lit. Like I'm definitely proud of myself for like sticking through college because my grades weren't good in college either. Like once I got there, it was even harder being a student athlete. Like that shit's no joke because like we had practice from like 4 to 7 every day, and then on top of that, you'd have like some night classes, and then like we'd be traveling every weekend to go to track meets or cross country meets on either on a bus or a plane, and then like somehow you got to find time to do your homework and like write your essays and shit and study. So I was really struggling. I majored in graphic design at Stonehill. Um, so yeah, college was a cool experience. It was definitely fun. Like I made a lot of friends. Um, I kind of was just like focused on track though. Like I used to joke that I majored in the 4 minute mile. Like that was my goal. I ended up running like a 4:01, so I was like 2 seconds from breaking 4 minutes, which is like still annoys me to this day. I don't really run competitively. anymore, but I still jog every now and then just to like clear my head. But that's college for me.
I love running. Just to go off that, like
Yeah,
4 minute, I could never fucking touch that in my life.
yeah,
I'm happy if I can get it down to like 7:30. Like I'm like,
dude. Honestly, 7 minutes is like that's really good.
I mean, I got short legs too, so like I'm fucking moving if I'm doing 7. But
Uh,
like, I
it's
I
really
I
good.
always try to keep it under 8. Like I feel like that's like solid.
They
Like
say under eight's average, right?
I hope so.
Yeah,
Like
so like
I
you're
hope
good.
so.
You're good. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I've always been super into running. Like
When you run those times, were you by yourself?
yeah, always by
Yeah, if you were
myself.
in a
Yeah,
race, you'd probably run 6 minutes. If
yeah,
you just let other people pull you and it's competitive, you'll go way
yeah,
faster.
yeah.
It's a
I,
lot
I've
harder
because
to run alone.
yeah, I mean, you're also like on some level not like fully pushing yourself too.
Hmm.
Like
Exactly.
because like I mean, I'm very big right now in the space of like not working, like especially weightlifting and stuff. I'm not maxing out stuff anymore. Like
No,
it's about like longevity,
you need cartilage
flexibility.
in your
Like
knees,
yeah, like I
trying to
mean,
keep the
back in the
cartilage.
day, like I was like football. I'm like, yeah, that was the thing. Like I'm gonna
Yeah,
lift as heavy as I could. I'm gonna be this
yeah,
short guy that can lift a ton of fucking weights. Like that was the
yeah.
thing. And now, especially, I was telling you about my hamstring injury. Post hamstring injury, it's definitely more about like stretching out, like
Hmm.
lifting and just lifting functionally. Like I'm still doing similar lifts, like squats, deadlifts, benching,
For
but
sure.
doing it at a lesser quantity, like with weights and stuff. Because like I don't care who am I trying to impress. Like I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder or anything like that.
It's about longevity too.
Yeah,
So like
like and
when
it's
you're in your 60s, you're not like in a wheelchair.
exactly, and like that's I think that's a huge difference between our generation and like older generations is we were maybe indoctrinated in some way about like fitness and like the importance of it.
Yeah.
And like it's a good thing because I think it's going to help with longevity and
Hmm.
pushing life forward. And like I think about, and obviously, like our generation, unfortunately, kids are being pushed further and further if you even want them. And I think about like, I'm going to be 30 this year. Like, I would like to have kids,
Yep.
hopefully, like in the near future.
Yep.
Like, I want to be able to still play catch with them or like go to
Right.
their games or coach them and
Right.
be a part of their life actively.
Yeah.
And that's like the big thing I always hit on my parents. Like they're older now. I'm like, guys gotta go for walks. Like it's the bare minimum. Like
Yeah.
and like I know it's gonna be hard to get on that routine, especially we live in New England. We most of the year it's kind of shitty. Like but
Yeah.
like
Slush.
yeah, it's not an excuse though. Like you've always lived here. So like this is what we
Yeah.
have to do. Like
Yeah.
whether it's investing in like a walking pad or a treadmill or a
Hmm.
stationary bike, like it's like selfishly I want you here longer.
Yeah.
Like that's the
Of
thing.
course.
And I think if we push it, the message is like that with fitness,
Yeah.
I think it'd be more accepted by people instead of like the judgmental aspect of people like judging people's bodies and stuff like that. Instead of being like, hey, work out and eat healthy so you can be here longer for the people that care about you and the people that you care about.
Not for
And I
sure.
think that's like a more powerful message instead of like the way that fitness industry sometimes goes. And
Well, we also live in America, so like fitness is like just America screams capitalism. So fitness here is a lot. The culture is a lot different than in, say, Europe or other parts of the world.
they have walkable cities too.
They have walkable cities, so like even if they didn't work out, they're gonna live longer. I don't know if you've heard of like the blue zones. Seen that documentary?
No.
Definitely check out that documentary on Netflix. So the blue zones are this like basically parts of the world where people live to 100 or more. They're called centenarians. And like for example, Greece or Italy, like it's walkable and like there's people who have lived there and for hundreds of years, just for 100 years and walked to church and back uphill in like
Oh yeah.
the hills of Italy, right? And like they're 100 years old and they're in better shape than some 50-year-old Americans just because of the culture here in America. Because it's like there's a Burger King on every corner. Our healthcare ain't free.
Nope.
Like,
It gets into a bad thing with healthcare and like
yep,
the system and like it's like, yeah, there's a Burger King on every street, and then they make it cheaper than like good food, and like that's the only option for people who aren't making a ton of money because you're not paying people enough money because you're billionaires are
yep,
making too much money, and it's like
yeah,
it's just like it just builds and builds and builds, and then you can get into conspiracies about different countries and stuff like that that are
mm-hmm,
shouldn't be in the United States, and it's like
yep,
it goes down a whole different rabbit hole. I'm not
yeah,
gonna air out my whole grievances with the United States and
yeah, yeah,
other
yeah,
countries, but like it's like that where it's like the system is like almost rigged against it where it's like you consciously and actively have to play the role and take care of yourself and like
you got to fight against it
yeah and
almost
I
instead
didn't
of just
really
like doing the bare minimum to like actually be healthy, it's like there's a
Mhm.
whole other layer that we have to like attack because our food is different than like other countries.
It's like illegal in other
You
countries. Like
can't escape it. Exactly. Like
that's the scary part. It's like other countries wouldn't even dare this, like, or like bread. And I forget what country. Like our bread is like cake to them. It's like
yeah, have you seen that video where like you
you
crunch the bread and it like
yeah, like
unfolds?
yeah.
I'm
I
like,
saw that
bro, this
video.
shit is not food.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big bread person either. I'm like, that's calories. The worst thing I've ever learned about in my life was calories. Once I learned what that was, I was like,
Yeah.
my life changed forever. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
man, like you look at one thing in the store, like growing up for me, like my snack, I was known for this cosmic brownies.
Oh
Like
yeah, I remember those.
those were like every day of my lunch. I always had one of those.
There was
So
always that one kid who had it and everyone was like, "Yo, let me get a
oh,
corner. Let me get a corner."
everyone did. Everyone would fight me for that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would sneak a second one in there and then kind of like auction it off to
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
And like that was like the favorite thing to do. But like I saw it in the store the other day. It was like a bigger version, just like one of them. I think it was like 500 calories. It's like half a meal right there. I'm like,
Yeah.
for that, and that's not even gonna fill me up at all.
A
Like,
little square.
dude, it's sad. Like, and like it just tastes like chemicals now too. Which I wish I could
Yeah.
turn that part of my brain. I'm like, I love cosmic brownies, but I'm like, this is
Once
not even a brownie. This is like plastics and like
yeah, who
made up.
knows what's in that?
Yeah, it's made up stuff. It's I don't know, crazy. But bringing us back to the college experience, and I want to like actually give you some flowers for like being a student athlete because people don't talk about that all the time and like how difficult that actually is. Like
It's
I had
tough.
a lot of friends that were in that scenario, and like a lot of people that end up having to quit their sports or even leave
Yeah.
college because they would fail out because they couldn't handle balancing that lifestyle.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I think I was on like academic probation at one point, for like a little bit.
And you're paying for it too. That's the scary part.
Yeah. Exactly. So like finding that balance, being able to make sure you're getting your assignments done and like going to practice and doing all the little things like going to the trainers because like our practice was from like 4 to 7, but that was just like our practice. We still had to go get massage therapy and roll out ice, get stim, like go in the ice bath, all the other stuff, the stuff that is like behind the scenes on top of that, which could be another hour or two of treatment. And then like you'd be exhausted from traveling or just a hard workout. You know, we were running on average like 8 to 10 miles a day across country at least. So
Yeah,
you're
it's a
just
ton.
exhausted. The last thing you want to do is go back to your dorm and like start doing work.
Write an essay on some like
Yeah,
English 101 class that means nothing to you and it's not going to
literally
lean
like a
anywhere.
cornerstone class. I'm like, I'm a graphic design major. Why
Yeah.
am I writing about like, yeah,
I remember taking like the bio class and the psychologist. Like this is nothing towards one.
statistics almost killed me, bro.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm good
God
with
the
numbers.
girl next to
That's
me.
my stuff. That's my field.
Okay, yeah, you like numbers. Thank God the girl next to me, like she let me like cheat off of her tests. Like
Now
I
you can
would
just
have,
ask ChatGPT.
yeah, I would have failed that class. Oh my God.
It's great. That's a whole different
Finesse.
conversation going into AI and how that's infiltrating school and like even
Yeah.
like my college experience. I don't know if you could relate, but like the amount of cheat sheets that we would get for stuff, like you
Yeah.
can use a whole front and back of like a white sheet of paper to do stuff and like
Yeah.
write formulas, you write answers, and like they're taking the test straight off of Chegg and like they're using all
I
the
remember Chegg.
Quizlet, like and that was when Chegg was like mostly free and like Quizlet was mostly free and they would literally like copy paste and use
Yeah.
the same stuff and it's like you're paying for this.
Mhm.
It's like, yes, should I actively be participating in learning this stuff in the curriculum? Sure. But like, if you're dumb enough to put the stuff out there, like, shame on you.
Yeah.
And like, I should get credited for being resourceful and then just finding it out there. Like, if I could find it out there, that's an educator problem, not a me problem as a
Right.
student. Like, every student in the history has probably tried to cheat.
Of
Like,
course, you gotta do what you gotta do.
yeah, you're gonna look for the shortcuts. That's human nature. You're looking for the shortcut to get to the where you want to go.
And like a job would want you to be able to figure it out, right?
Yeah,
If they gave you a task and you like didn't know how to figure it out,
maximize time, maximize profit. Like
like
that's what it really is. And
yeah,
like, but the educators, I mean, this goes into a snowball. And I don't want to go into this, but like,
right,
they're tired. They don't want to do all this extra work, and
right,
we're getting to a point where students are going to use Chat GPT, and then the teachers are going to use Chat GPT to correct the students' Chat GPT. And it's like,
literally,
what the hell are we even doing at this point?
exactly.
That's a scary thing. And well, we can talk about that with the art stuff in a second because I do want to pivot
Sure.
towards like as you start graduating college,
Mhm.
you're looking at the real world. Like, where does your life take you, and how do you kind of start getting to where you are now with getting into art, like like the modeling, and
Yeah.
then starting to do some of the YouTube stuff and the street interviews?
Dude, I graduated right into COVID. Didn't even have a graduation. It was on Zoom. I remember watching the Zoom just like passively. Everyone's like cum laude and summa cum laude. I'm like, what the hell is that? I didn't get that shit. It just said my name and graphic design. It was like next. But yeah, we didn't have a graduation. Um, I went right into COVID. That's when I tapped back into my art. I didn't have time to really do art in college because I was a student athlete. I barely had time to do my homework. So the art kind of went on pause for those 4 years. Soon as COVID hit, moved back home from college. I set up a little studio in my mom's basement. I was just painting like crazy. I probably did 100 paintings during like that year span of like COVID. I forget how long COVID was. The quarantine. It's probably at least a year, right?
Yeah, the
Maybe two.
actual, like, when most stuff
Like
was
the
closed.
lockdown.
Yeah, it was like 2020, like 2021, and then
Yeah.
2021 is when stuff started to
So
slowly go.
yeah, like during the lockdown is when I really like tapped back into my creative mode. And I was just making art just in the basement, painting every day. Um, then stuff started to open back up. I was like, I want to uh, I want to move out. Like, so me and my girlfriend, we found a little apartment. I remember I got a construction job just because, like I said, grades weren't great, and I had a little graphic design degree. Couldn't find a graphic design job off rip. So I wanted to learn construction, part of me, because I've always wanted to build things. Like I'm an artist. I want to know how to like build a tiny house one day and like build my house or like make renovations if I need to. So I I found a construction job. I was a carpenter for a year. So I learned how to use a nail gun, skill saw, sawzall, like all the tools. Learned how to cut 2x4s, learned how to frame windows, doorways, all that shit. Like we built the house from scratch. Did that for a year. Then I was like to the point where it's literally winter. I was like out there freezing my ass off. Like I was just I remember they had me cutting all the 2x4s to length because they were working on some walls. And I was like the new guy, so I had to do all like the little work. So I was just like cutting it the same measurement the whole time. Like forget the length, but I was just like cutting all the 2x4s and I was like, bro, what am I doing? Like I'm literally freezing. My hands are numb and I'm cutting like 2x4s for hours. Like that was what I did all day, one of the days. Um, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I remember like I was thinking about it and thinking about it, and I literally was, I'm about to quit this job. Like, I remember I was driving to work the day I was about to quit, and I don't know if you've ever seen those Ocean State job lot trucks on the highway, and the back says the end. So I was like, bro, the signs are there. Like, I'm done. Like, that's my sign. I was playing Tame Impala, and it was like, I'm about to do something crazy. I'm like, yes, I am. And I quit that day. I told my boss, I was like, bro, like, I'm beat. I'm sorry. Like, I can't do this. Like, I quit. And he was just like, oh shit, bro. Like, damn. I wish you told me sooner, but okay. He was cool, but it was whatever. So here I am, jobless. It was you could still get the COVID relief checks. I think it was like the $500 check, a stimulus check or whatever. So I was still like, obviously, I couldn't spend money on myself, but, like, that was going towards rent and groceries. But I was just applying, trying to find, like, other shit. I found this little sales job. I was actually knocking doors trying to sell solar. That's how I ended up at that company. It was, like, a small solar company at the time. Hated sales. That was tough. Like, if you ever knock doors, if you guys are watching, like, that's one of the hardest jobs in the world. People slamming doors in your face, like, people are just pissed off. You gotta be patient with them and, like, not crash out on them. There's people can be mean, man. But like I didn't care. I was like, bro, honestly, like I can't even hold you. Like, who am I to tell you to go solar? Like, I get it, but damn, can I get a water or something? But yeah. So did that for a little bit. I was in the sales for like a year, and then I noticed I was like, guys, you don't even have like Instagram. Like they had an Instagram, but they had like three posts, and they were like one of them was happy holidays that they made in like Canva or some shit, and two were like some stock photos of like solar panels on a house. I'm like, these aren't even your installations. Like, so I literally pitched to them. I was like, guys, like I can run your social media. Like, I'm not good at sales. Like, I'm not getting any deals for you. Like, let me run your socials. Let me do your marketing. And they were like, all right, we'll think about it. Next day, they were like, all right, like, we're going to offer you a position. Like, it's like 55K a year, whatever. I needed something, right? So I tapped into that. Like that's how I learned videography. That's how um I basically started their marketing department. Um so like I did that for 3 years. Um this past Christmas I got laid off. Their sales were kind of plummeting. But like I said like earlier off podcast, like sometimes like the universe will push you out of the nest. Like I wasn't happy at that job at the end sort of. I was kind of just stagnant again. Like I could never hold a job. Like I was working at Lowe's at one point in the garden center, just like stocking plants and watering plants. Like I worked in a mailroom, on the conveyor belts, just like sealing envelopes. Like I've always had like these crazy ass jobs, and I could only do them for like a few months. Like I've always just like been like, nah, bro, this ain't for me. Um, so yeah. What was the last one I was talking about? Oh, the marketing. They laid me off. Is what it is. Filed for unemployment. That's when I was like, bro, like I have the skills. I learned how to do videography within those 3 years. Why don't I just like do my own thing? So like me and my boy, my best friend, we started our own little marketing agency. We're doing it like we can work with multiple clients instead of just one. You know what I mean? Like why would I work for one solar company, get underpaid, do all their marketing when I could literally be a marketing agency and just work with a bunch of clients? So that's what I'm on now. And that's what kind of led to this whole new Airbnb experience thing that I'm kind of tapped into now. I don't know if you want me to get into
Yeah, you
that.
can get into that now if you want.
Okay, cool. So I love to travel. Me and my girlfriend, we both love to travel. So with videography right now, like I work with a lot of realtors. I'm in the real estate space a lot. So I'm helping them sell their listings or like advertise their listings through social media marketing and just website management and whatnot. So I had this idea. I'm like, I love to travel. I'm already like filming house tours. Like, why don't I just like, the idea is simple. Like, let me reach out to Airbnb and Verbo hosts. Let me see if I can stay in their place for a night or two for free, for the low, whatever they're comfortable with. And I'll give them basically a marketing package. I'll give them drone photos, listing photos they can update on their listings on Airbnb.com, whatever. And I'll give them a video tour, like a cinematic tour. And I'm gonna start my own YouTube channel and like talk about my stay. So that's what I'm on now. Dropped the first episode like 2 weeks ago. You guys can check that out on my YouTube at Lucas Nature. Um, I got one next weekend. We're going to Vermont. We're staying in a yurt. And the thing with the listings is like I'm not looking for like luxury mansions. I can't afford that, and I doubt they would want to let me stay there for free. I'm looking for like unique, fun, like adventure places. So like we stayed in an A-frame. It was completely off grid. There was no running water, no electricity, and no cell service. We were completely just in the woods of New Hampshire, just tucked in, and it was a vibe. Like that's the bottom. We didn't even have. I mean, they had an outhouse, but there's no running water. There's no sink, obviously. No fridge. Can't have AC. Can't have heat. No cell service. So me and my girlfriend, we just played cards the whole time. We had our dog with us. We were just going on little hikes. There was like a farm nearby. We were just chilling on the farm. We were just tapped in with nature, like super unplugged, which was amazing. So anything above that is like we'll be like, um, I think next weekend the yurt that we're staying in has like running water. It has like it has a sink and like a little stove. So it's like already we're like, bro, we're balling. If we could do it like just sleeping on the floor with nothing, just blankets, then like this is gonna feel like luxury. That's why I'm like interested in staying in like the more affordable, like unique kind of style homes rather than just like jump to some cool like luxury like mansion.
Yeah, I think it's cool that you've turned like what was a job and what was a career into something that's not only beneficial for you,
Yeah.
but the people that are hosting as well.
Hmm.
And offering that and then having your own platform to launch it. So it's not so much, even on their end, it's not like a paid sponsored
Right.
like ad because
No.
it's coming from you. Obviously,
Yeah.
there's like deals that you're working on the sides, but like
Hmm.
you're doing it because you thought it was a cool spot
Yeah.
and you actually enjoy doing this and being out in nature and
Yeah.
experiencing that. And I think that's a good like piece of advice for anyone that's like looking to kind of like take a step into like some type of content,
Yeah,
document what you do.
literally.
Like anything that you do that you enjoy doing, document it. And like that can slowly build into something. Obviously,
Hmm.
it doesn't have to be like professionally edited. Obviously, you've had a lot of experience to get to that point.
Yep.
So you have to start somewhere.
You got to
Just take
start
your phone,
somewhere.
start recording,
Yeah.
and like whether you use Canva or whatever, like start editing on something,
Yep.
like, and then you slowly like, all right, well, what's the next step after this?
Hmm.
And then there's plenty of YouTubes that can help you guide
Yeah.
someone into that. And I think that's a great piece of like advice that people can take from that is like just start documenting stuff. Like find the thing you
Everything is
want.
content.
Mhm.
That's what they say.
And I don't think people always realize that. It's like, where do I start? Like, I don't even know what to do. And I'm like, you could literally do anything.
Bro, like if you guys are watching and you like have that question in your mind, like where do I start? Like just start with where you're at. If you're working in a cubicle, then start making content. What's that guy's name who like documented his 9 to 5?
Well, Hub's life is
Yeah,
that now everyone hates that
I think
guy.
he's being canceled right now.
Yeah,
Um, but
fortunately.
like, hey, be the next Hub's life and don't get canceled. Like, just film yourself. If you work at a barn, if you work at McDonald's, like I see people going live doing like whatever. Like everything is content and it's right in your hand, like in your pocket, your phone. Like this thing could change your life.
Yeah, and I mean, it sucks for that guy. Like, because I was a really big supporter of him, and like on some level, I still am because I don't like when people just like are canceling him more for the fact of like he's changed his 9 to 5 content. If
Okay.
you understood him beforehand, he wasn't doing 9 to 5. He was actually doing like videography and like
Oh,
he had his own business, but it essentially didn't work out for him and
okay.
decided to go back to corporate life.
Okay.
Documented the corporate life, went viral, got a bunch of sponsorships, got money, decided to leave that.
Mm.
And his problem was he rented out an office and then tried to still do like 9 to 5 content without being a 9 to 5 worker. He was
Oh,
owning his own business,
it was a
working.
set
Yeah, it was
basically.
basically a set, but he
Oh,
was doing his own work in an office, but he was creating that illusion for people, and
oh,
obviously
okay. So that's where people are mad is like,
that and,
yeah,
like, he was on live asking
misleading.
for, like, a galaxy or something like that on, like, a TikTok live, and,
What's that?
it's like a donation, basically, like, they have a bunch of, like, different, like, features, like, you send a galaxy, a rose, or whatever.
Oh, like on live, the
Yeah.
little
And he
emojis.
was, like, asking for that for something, and, then he claimed he was gonna donate that money to some, like, cause, and
Hmm.
it turned
He's
into this
kind
whole
of he's lost in the sauce right
a
now.
little bit, and, like, it sucks because like, his whole audience turned on him, but it's like and people are using it as, like, a talking ex like, an example to talk about is, like,
Right.
if you're gonna base your content on, like, a specific thing and you try to change, like, this could happen to you, and
Right.
when you try to sell your audience, this is what you are, and then you're not that,
Hmm.
people are not gonna resonate with that.
You got to stay true to like your vision. So if you're starting, figure out what your vision is and make sure you like it because that's what you got to stick with um, for the long run. You can change, like take different avenues, but stay rooted and like stay true to who you are because people see right through it. You don't want that to be you, you know?
Yeah, remember why you started.
Yeah.
Remember who
Know
you
your
were when
why.
you
Yeah.
started, and I think that's, like, a huge reason. I mean, I was telling you, like, even, like, my platform and, like, shorts and stuff like that on YouTube and, like, I have 100, like, subscribers and, like,
Hmm.
videos podcasts can range from, like, anywhere from, like, 50 to 100 views, and I'm like, I could do more, but, like, that's acting out of why I do this and acting out of why
Yeah.
and, like, who I am. Like, I don't want to do all that. Like, this like, I just enjoy connecting with people and having legit conversation and,
Yeah.
like, putting it online and having people digest that and
Yeah.
showing I like showing everyday people that everyday people do things.
Hmm.
It's like everyone around you has something cool about them. You just have to ask them, and a lot of the time, it just takes sometimes sitting down with someone and having an interview and building upon that and promoting that.
Yeah.
It's a we're both gaining from having the conversation. Like it's
Exactly.
like you come on and there's a platform to produce promote your stuff and talk
Yeah.
about who you are, and I'm also getting another guest who has an audience, and like
Right.
I'm getting to know about what you do and why you do it, and
That's
like
right.
we didn't know each other before this,
Uh,
and I think that's like the coolest thing is like I've met so many amazing people from just starting a podcast,
yeah.
and I don't make money off this. I do this because I genuinely care to do this,
Uh huh.
and I think people when they're starting out have to have that as their reason versus I want to be famous or I want to be rich.
Right.
It's going to fail every time. You can't go that path. You have to
Yeah,
do it
no,
because you legitimately want to do it.
bro. I relate to that 100%. When we were doing street interviews, Passion Street Media, like the value came from those conversations just right in the street. Like when I tell you like that's when I felt like high on life. Like that's when I felt like my true authentic self. I was getting messages from the universe directly from people that I was talking to. Like, bro, life changing experience. Like you could cut the cameras. Like I would do that. Just I still do it. Just like I don't record it. Um, like if I'm out in public, I'm talking to strangers just because of that experience we did for 2 years, just talking to strangers. It's life changing. Like I recommend it.
What made you get into doing that?
So my best friend, um, Aaron, he's the kid who films the videos. I mean, he's a little bit more camera shy, so like I usually do the interview. Um, but I used to work with him at that job. Like I said, when I started that marketing department,
Mhm.
he came on later, met him. And I think the first question I asked him was like, "Yo," this was before we started Passion Street Media. I asked him, I was like, "Yo," like, because I was getting to know him. He was sitting next to me in the office. I'm like, "Yo, what are you passionate about? Like, what do you do outside of work and stuff?" He was like, "Oh, like I'm into photography." Next day he comes in. He was like, "Bro, I was thinking about that question you asked me yesterday. Like, it really resonated. Like, he's like, what if we went around Providence and just asked people that same question and see what we get for reactions?" And I was like, "Shit, you onto something." So we literally bought these little cheap ass USB mics off Amazon for like $5. And we were like, "All right, bet, let's go Saturday." So on Saturday we linked up and we went out, hit the streets, and then we did it for 2 years, just like that.
Are you still doing it to this day?
So it's on pause right now. So like I said, I got laid off over Christmas.
Mhm.
And being able to do that on weekends and like having a full-time job,
Yeah.
it was kind of like, what's the word? I guess I was blessed to be able to do that. Now I have to kind of focus on like, you know, providing for myself and my girlfriend.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it's on a pause right now because I need to like focus on finding a new job and making money and like working with my current clients as doing videography. I would love to get back into it. I miss it. A lot of people have been DMing us like, "Yo, where are the interviews?" And like, I want to get back to it so bad. Like, it's definitely coming soon. I will say that.
What
Yeah.
do you think your most memorable interview was?
Oh shit, dude. Okay, this one's crazy. This is what I mean by like I was high on life. I'm talking to God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. We were on Thayer Street. We were doing interviews. And I was having a shitty day. And like before, whenever I had a shitty day at work, this was still when I had a job. We'd go right after work sometimes. I think it was a Thursday afternoon. Aaron would be like, "Yo, let's go do interviews." I'm like, "Nah, bro. Work just killed me. Like I'm trying to go home and just like chill with my dog and my girlfriend. Like I'm not even into it right now. I don't want to be social right now." Um, and he was like, "Nah, bro. Like that's when we have to do it the most. 'Cause that's when like we're gonna get those like experiences and it's gonna change your day. Like don't let this job ruin your day." He's super positive. Shout out to Aaron. So I'm like, fine, let's do it. We hit up Thayer Street. Like I said, I'm in a bad mood, so I'm trying to like, "Yo, bro, like, what's up, bro? You got time for an interview?" And this kid, he's walking up the street. He's got two plates in his hand. He's got like spaghetti and meatballs in one hand, and like fried chicken in the other hand, on just like paper plates. And he's a college kid. He lives nearby. And he's like, "Oh, I'm just heading back to my dorm. What's up? Like, I'll do an interview, whatever." So we're talking to this kid, and I asked him like, "What are you passionate about?" He said he was passionate about like fitness and running and just like spirituality and whatnot. Um, and then we usually ask like, "Do you have a message for the world?" And um, this interview was like this interaction was like 30 minutes. I felt bad because his food was getting cold, but he was like, "Don't worry about that. Like, we got a microwaves for that." And I was like, "See, this dude is smart." Um, so I said, "What's your message for the world?" And he was like, he was hitting on everything I was feeling in that moment because I was feeling like down on myself. I'm in a job that I hate. I feel like I should be here at this point. I'm 27. Like I want to be here, but I'm here. Just in my head, right? And he didn't know that, but he's talking about like you gotta like trust God's timing and like trust the universe and like be grateful for where you are right now because you're exactly where you need to be right now. and it might not make sense right now, but you're exactly where you need to be. And I was like, bro, like this was a dope conversation. I appreciate you. Like I've been feeling that way today and lately. Just I've been feeling kind of down on myself because I feel like I should be here. Like I appreciate that message. Like I needed to hear that today. What was your name one more time before I go? This dude said, my name's Lucas. I was like, bro, see, God just put, like, I'm talking to myself. Like, it was a crazy moment. It gave me chills. I got chills right now. It was crazy, bro. Stuff like that is just like, shit, I'll remember. Like, can't forget stuff like that.
Yeah, that's super powerful
Yeah.
to hear that too, and I think that will resonate with a lot of people as well. Because like, a lot of the time we don't always realize, like, you are where you're supposed to be.
Hmm.
And like we're always, and this is maybe like by default of like being human, we are looking towards that next thing. We want what's next? What are we gonna do next? What's tomorrow? What's
Yeah.
next week? And I mean, I struggle with this all the time, but like you have to like sit back and just like appreciate and
Yeah.
be grateful because when you want,
Yeah.
it's gonna keep pushing it down the road further and further from you.
That's right.
And it's all timing. It's whether it's God's or the universe, whatever you believe in, like
Yep.
it's gonna come when it's supposed to come.
Hmm.
And if it doesn't come, it wasn't meant to be. And
That's right.
it's understanding that to even get to that way too, or the place that you want to get to, you have to take the step still. Like,
Yeah.
and this is where like being patient and grateful has to be combined with consistency and like hard work and dedication towards
That's
it
right.
too. Because if you want to be like the best like podcaster or best author or best video game streamer or best interviewer,
Hmm.
if you don't interview or write or play the video game or stream, like you're never going to get there.
That's right.
Like, so you actually still have to do, because like you can't get lost in the spiritual nature of being grateful and waiting for your time. Like you still have to do too. Like, and that's like the thing that I've gotten like stuck in, where it's like you want to sit and be patient with stuff, but you still have to be
Hmm.
a go getter and get after at the same time.
Exactly. I relate to that too. I believe that you got to meet the universe halfway. A lot of people believe that if you just sit, wait, meditate on things, and it'll just come to you and you attract it. And yes, that's true, but you got to meet her halfway. Say if you got invited to an event, right? And you're feeling shitty and you don't want to be social, and it's like, but I know if I go, I'm going to make hella connections and it's going to help my podcast or whatever you're doing. If you just, if you cancel and like, nah, bro, I'm not feeling good. My stomach hurts. I can't go. It's like, bruh, you just missed out on a bunch of opportunities that the universe was out to bless you if you met her halfway. So my advice to anyone watching is like, go. Even if you don't want to go, go. Because every time I've gone to stuff and I didn't feel like it, it's always been worth it. And I've always had those moments, the best moments where it's like, damn, like I'm so glad I came. Just because they say like you're your own worst enemy sometimes. No one's telling you to stay at home but you. Don't make excuses, just go.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And like that really actually resonates with me. Let me check this. Whatever. I think I have a good estimate. I do want to start bringing us home
Yeah,
on the podcast. I have one more question for you that'll be like my wrap up question.
for sure.
But I want to give you the opportunity to talk about, is there anything upcoming that people should be ready for? I know you're talking about the YouTube videos and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but if you want to plug any of that stuff or like tell the people what to kind of expect from you coming up.
Yeah. So right now, I'm a big believer in focusing on one thing at a time because I have ADHD and my whole life I've been like tapped into a bunch of shit at once. So I'm kind of just like, here's what I'm doing right now. So right now, Airbnb Adventures. It's called Here for Now. It's a new series on my YouTube. You can check it out at Lucas Nature on YouTube. I'm basically traveling the world. I'm staying in the most unique rental properties in the world, documenting my experience, and it's like a vlog on YouTube. That's my thing right now. And
I think that's going to really resonate with a lot of people. And
yeah,
because like, who doesn't like booking an Airbnb with their significant other or friends and like
yeah,
going out to, and everyone's looking for that on social media. Where's the next cool one? Where's the next cool one? And
right.
like, you don't always know where to look. So like
Hmm.
having someone go document their experience, hence our conversation earlier, doing something that you normally would like to do anyways,
Yeah,
just taking your camera with you and doing it
exactly.
creates a whole experience that other people can benefit from. And I
Right.
think that's really great.
And I'm 28, so like I said, I got laid off. So like I don't have a ton of money. Like I'm looking for unique, affordable ones. So if you're in a similar boat or like your budget isn't crazy for like a weekend getaway, definitely like watch my videos because I'm finding the most unique, fun stays. Like we're staying in a treehouse in September. Like it's gonna be cool content, not just like mansions and shit.
Yeah, and it's cool because you also are putting something on the calendar that you're looking forward to as well. So
I'm
you're
trying to
creating
do one a month.
experience.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think that's
exactly.
cool, and I think that's like tangible too to like look for things that are affordable,
Hmm.
and at the same time you're creating an experience that is going to be memorable for you and your girlfriend as well. And I think that's like
Exactly.
a really dope thing. Is I mean, is even again pulling on my podcast from last week of like creating experiences for ourselves and
That's
like
right.
not supplementing it for like technology or another weekend watching like your favorite Netflix show or something
Yeah,
like that. And like obviously if you're renting, take advantage and like use your space,
yeah,
but like get out, do stuff, like
yeah.
go to that concert, go to that like basketball game, or
Hmm.
go to that event that you really want to. There's tons of stuff in Providence all the time, or Boston, or wherever you're from. There's always events going on. And like
Yeah,
find what you enjoy and like look for people that do the same thing and then create those connections and relationships because we are humans, we are social creatures. Even if
yes,
you are an introvert, even like myself,
yeah.
you have to do it.
No,
It's
same.
it's good for your mental, and like
Yeah,
I think we all need more of that.
yeah.
um Lucas, I'm going to bring us to our last question, and I asked this for everyone, so like you can kind of take your time with it. I forgot to like let you know
You're
beforehand,
good. You're
but
good.
this is going to be perfect because it's exactly what you kind of talk about. What would your advice be for someone who wants to pursue their passion?
All right. So my advice for anyone who wants to pursue their passion is just do it. It sounds cliche, but like if it's truly your passion, then you would be doing it, right? So if you're truly passionate about basketball, then like you should be in the driveway shooting hoops or at the court shooting hoops, right? Um, believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, like then like who will? Like all that matters is that you believe in yourself. At the end of the day, everything else is extra. So I feel like everyone here is like has a purpose in life. I'm a big believer in like finding your purpose, finding your passion. You know, I feel like I was sent here to inspire people. That's my passion. My passion is to connect with people and learn about people and inspire people through my art, through my videos or what my content, whatever. Motivate people. So like that's what I'm here to do, and that's what I'm gonna do until I die. So like figure out what your passion is. And if you know what it is, do it. I know we live in a world where you have to like balance the 9 to 5 and like balance the passion, but like do what you need to do to survive, obviously. Like go get your money, pay your bills, but make sure you're making time for that passion. Once you figure it out, go all in. Don't half ass it or else it's not gonna work out if you half ass it. You gotta have both feet in. Um, you gotta really believe in yourself and really attack it and every day. You have to be disciplined. I like how you were saying you devoted 30 minutes a day to write your book. If you didn't do that, it probably wouldn't have gotten written, right? So you got to lock in, you got to be disciplined and bet on yourself every time.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. And I think what really resonates when I was seeing a lot of content was like obviously that's my last question that I ask everyone. I've done that pretty much since the beginning. And
Yeah,
then
I like that question.
obviously what you kind of talk about and finding the passions of people, and like
Yeah,
obviously the shirt passionate. I was like,
yes, sir.
that's a no brainer. It's like we kind of talked about throughout, like the universe is going to speak to you in weird ways.
Yeah,
Like there's connections that are going to be made, and even brought up like motivation. Like these are like my three pillars, like the positivity, motivation, mental health. Like
it's very important.
it's like that. And like what I found, and I won't go too much over a tangent because we'll start wrapping up.
Hmm.
But what I found by doing this podcast for almost 6 years now is like most people are trying to like find those same answers or push those same messages. They just do it in different ways.
Right.
And like that's the coolest thing is like the way that you're trying to figure out passion and motivating others and connecting is different than what I do,
Yeah.
but we're doing it for the same purposes. And I think
Yeah.
that's like the overall purpose of a podcast that I've created here is finding people that do similar things in different ways
Right.
and highlighting that and showing people it's like we come at it from different ways, but we're still trying to figure out that same type of thing. I think
That's
a
right.
lot of people are, and I think that's like a great message to kind of like
For sure. Like
wrap up and end on, you know?
you definitely like being here today, seeing the set, seeing how passionate you are about this motivates me. It's not about outshining people, it's about shining together. So Don't try to outshine like the next person's podcast. Don't try and outshine the next person's music. Connect, shine together. That's gonna be more powerful than like one light versus two.
Networks are important, and like having that
Exactly.
connection, like having those relationships, and
Hell yeah.
you learn from connecting and doing stuff with people in the same space. All the podcasts
Exactly.
that I've ever collabed with, I've learned a thing or two from them,
Yeah,
and I hope that they got something from
for
whether
sure.
it's my studio or how I do it. And I think it's important to like step
Yeah,
out and do that stuff.
for sure.
Um,
100%.
Lucas, has been amazing having you on this podcast and getting to interview you. And I appreciate you taking time out of your day to come do this. And I
Yeah.
always appreciate anyone that's willing to
That's
sit
what I'm
across from
doing
me.
today.
Yeah.
Every day is an opportunity, right? Today's opportunity was to be on a podcast, first one ever. So I appreciate you having me. Yeah,
Yeah. I appreciate that.
it's a
So
good
if you
time.
can look into that camera over there and just plug your stuff where the people can find you.
Oh, word. All right. So TikTok, you can find me at lucasnature underscore. Instagram, you can find me at lucasnature art, and then you can find me at Lucas Nature on YouTube, where you can watch my series Here for Now. If you want to watch Passion Street Media interviews, that's on IG at Passion Street Media and on TikTok as well, Passion Street Media.
Perfect. And I'll tag you in a bunch of that stuff as well.
Word.
For you guys, if you guys like the podcast, please rate, review, subscribe, share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your grandma. Check out the carolconnection.simplecast.com. Also available Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the major listening platforms. And if you like to watch a podcast, go on YouTube, search the Carroll Connection or Jared M. Carroll. And it's plugging the 5 pillars of creating a meaningful life. Check that out. Amazon. And if you get it, read it, review it, and submit the review. That goes a long way in the algorithm. So, till next time, guys. Peace.